Welcome to West Texas Droning. Has your drone been jammed?
You just got jammed.
Yeah, it can happen. West Texas Droning here, discussing GPS signal jamming or interruption and how it might affect your drone. Now, just about everything these days uses GPS. Aircraft use it. Marine ships and use it. Your car uses it. Your map program on your car all use GPS. And my attention to this issue was initiated by a YouTube channel that I am a member of and frequent. It's called the Blanco Lario channel. It's published by a guy named Juan Brown. And Juan is a widely experienced pilot who discusses and analyzes aircraft accidents and their causes and everything going on about them. He was analyzing a recent accident that occurred in New Mexico where a medevac aircraft flying from Roswell to Ruidoso hit a mountain north and west of the course of where he should have flown, and Juan was trying to figure out what the heck he was doing up there. One speculated as to whether or not the GPS signal interference jamming testing going on in White Sands Missile Range may have had something to do with this guy's accident, and because of the course he took, as you can see down there, it's not really what he should have been flying. And so what was he doing there? So this piqued my interest, and so I asked Grok, who's a good close friend of mine, can the military send out interference on GPS signals? Is that a thing? And it said, yeah, it's true. The U.S. military can and regularly conducts GPS interference jamming tests as part of electronic warfare training. And I thought, well, this is kind of interesting. And they do publicly announce it, and it has what the current and recent activity has been. And so I asked Grok, I said, okay, well, I'm here in West Texas. Does that affect me? That's going on in White Sands. Yes, indeed, Grok says GPS jamming tests at White Sands Missile Range over New Mexico can and do routinely affect civilian drones in West Texas. What it can do is just scramble your GPS signal or block it, and functions like positioning, altitude hold, return to home, geofencing, stable flight modes, those are all interfered with and can get interrupted with this GPS signal blocking testing that they're doing. Now, I asked, okay, well, how do you know if this is going on? I mean, do they put it out in a NOTAM? Yes, they do put it out in NOTAMs, and it's important for you to go ahead and check your NOTAMs if you're flying anywhere around where this might be happening. Now, I believe that White Sands is not the only place this is done. There are other military facilities that's probably conducting these same tests, and they're either doing it to see if they can scramble GPS signals and mess up drones, or they may be able to be using it to try to create GPS signal navigation that is difficult to scramble. We don't know exactly what they're doing, but it is something to think about. Now, on this NOTAM, they tell you how far away the signal will affect you depending on your altitude. If you're up at higher altitudes, that listens at 25,000 feet, it can affect you as far as 330 nautical miles away. As close as 212 nautical miles, it can affect you if you're 50 feet above the ground or higher. Where do you fly your drone? Usually up to 400 feet legally. So that's something for you to think about. Another reason to make sure you exercise due diligence when you're doing your flight planning, and double check this. As you can see, these tests, the radius for the effects of these GPS signal jamming or interference can be sizable. So make sure you check the NOTAMs closely and see if there's anything in the area that could be of concern to you. That being said, I'm going to show you a little video test I did here on my Air 3. And I don't fly it that much around here. I fly it out in the country. I don't in the city. It kind of bothers me anyway. Where I live, there's lots of trees around. I wanted to see, will an Air 3 do a good return to home landing in the middle of all these trees? And so here's that test. Up we go. And my driveway is surrounded on the north by a house, east and west by trees, and across the street by a sizable tree. And so I launched from there, and I'm going to do a little bit of a fly around and do a return to home and see if it'll go ahead and land on the landing pad doing a precision return to home. This is the first decent weather day we've had. We've had a lot of thunderstorm activity, low clouds, rain, and as you've seen some of my shorts with the eerie sunsets we get after a thunderstorm, this is the first nice clear day I've had. So I'm testing a return to home. I've activated it there. We're going to see if it'll come down in between all the trees and the buildings and do a good precision landing. And down between the trees, I had my action camera out and I pushed the button, but I didn't push it hard enough, so I didn't get the landing. But you can tell it lands right on the pad. Good job, Air 3, on your return to home precision landing in an urban area with trees and all kinds of structures. Well done. All right, well, that's this episode for this week. I want to remind you, go ahead, check those NOTAMs. You may be miles away from one of these test areas. That's probably more likely than not. Be advised, they do make these things in a portable size that protects VIPs and motorcades and stuff like that. You may not know that a portable unit is in your area, and that's kind of a downside to this technology. In the meantime, thank you for stopping by. We hope that you like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell. We appreciate your watching the movie, watching your support. We appreciate it a lot. Till next time, God bless.